For real.
Let me wake up first.
3 things that you can expect to happen in the first year of marriage. Go on.
I think that you should expect. I think that you should expect to understand that you are complete opposites to your partner. I would say when I went into a relationship with Curtis, I thought we're exactly the same. Exactly the same. That's what I like him. I like the me in him. And so that's why I married him. So I really married myself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're talking.
But then when I got in to that first year,
It was better than you thought.
I realised that I had been tricked.
By?
Duped. It wasn't me that I married. I had married a complete opposite to myself.
Boy. Snap?
Whatever snap is.
Because it's
Same
true.
experience.
Yeah.
You married yourself.
I didn't so much think that you was opposite as you were. Like, first week.
First week?
Yeah, this is me. She's different, man.
Why?
No, it wasn't the first week. It was about the first month. I was starting to see things.
Like what?
That... And a wise man knows to... No, but I think that... yeah, I can concur with that. Like, I did not know that you were so different. I thought that we would just click and get on, because we were clicking and getting on in the relationship.
So give me some major differences.
But you just told me to shush, man. Shh. Okay.
Got black thing in the teeth. Should check that out.
Get up.
I can't. It's gone.
It's gone.
That's gone down.
So one of the things I saw was she was really into the housework. And I'm like, come chill out, man. Come sit down. And my wife ain't sitting down. If there's one thing, mate, it's got to be done.
That yard has to be clean.
We're talking about obviously year 1, innit? Year 1.
Yeah, but that's what I was used to from home, was always having a spick and span home, do you know what I mean? And making sure that everything was in place, and then you can relax.
Come and sit down and have some chill out time, man.
Nah.
Maybe we can do something.
Nah.
Maybe we can watch something. Pop Idol or something back then.
Pop Idol was back
Remember
then.
Clay Aiken.
That was America.
Who's the other one? The big one.
Ruben Studdard.
Ruben Studdard, man.
Yeah, no, we was well into marriage by the time that was on.
Is it?
Yeah, I was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but going back, no, I could not chill until things was sorted, until things was like in place. That for me, tidy house, tidy mind. And Kurt was the opposite.
Excuse me, like, what? What's that supposed to mean?
Tidy. That's for me. That is my philosophy. Tidy house, tidy mind.
Yeah, but I'm not that messy.
Nah, you're
But
like
I'm just not as tidy.
in between the scale. So therefore, when you were like, come and sit down and chill, I'm like, nah, things are out of place. When they're in place, then I can chill. I mean, I've learned since then to kind of loosen up a little bit, and that it's a bit of OCD, just a little bit there. But to be honest, that was my complete opposite to you.
Little bit. So that would breed frustration. On my part anyway. And you'd probably be frustrated with me, because it's like, well, why isn't he tidying up with me?
Yeah.
Why isn't he picking up and getting the mop out and stuff?
Yeah, it does, because it's like, why am I doing this by myself? This is a home where we're both supposed to be in. You're supposed to feel exactly the way as I do. That thing, you cannot have leisure
And pleasure.
And
work.
until the work is completed. I was going to say irk is completed. So that was a major, complete opposite.
That would breed a lot of frustration in me.
Yeah. What's another complete opposite? Oh, I know. Let me do it. I was security conscious.
Yes.
Security conscious.
You say was.
I still am, and you know why I'm security conscious?
No, break that down.
Security conscious means this, that like when you're leaving the house to go out, like you're going somewhere, I don't know, Tesco or to your local shopping centre, or wherever you're going, You check the windows before you leave. You check the doors. You turn off the reds. You see the little red switch on the plug? You switch that off. You turn the red switch off. On every single plug.
Turn off all the plugs.
You make sure all the lights are off.
And I grew up in a standby house where you just leave it on and just turn it off, but you don't have to turn off the plug. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
We're late.
We was growing up to believe that.
We're late. Can we go now?
Yeah, but we was growing up to believe that you have to check the whole house, because there's times that I've gone out and I've come home and touched the back door and it's been open.
Which house?
In our old house especially.
You left it open.
You left it open.
How can it be me?
Because when I shut the door and it's all in a process. You shut the door, you lift the handle, you turn the key. I will not break that process. I will not just shut the door. I have to do the whole lot. So you had left the door open, and I'm thinking, the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Right. So they're coming in our house.
Yeah. So my security conscious.
That
my security conscious was very different than his, where he would just grab his keys, shut the front door. Now that can cause a lot of pain.
And so when we're late going somewhere, I'm thinking, what's wrong with this woman? Just come on.
Yeah, but I'm checking everything.
Twice over.
It's got better. It's once over now.
Yeah,
this ain't all about my LCD. This is about being security conscious, being aware.
But what we're talking about is just the differences. I mean, we're talking about the first year.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about now.
No. They're complete differences.
Let's be clear.
Another complete difference was that I was used to, as a young person and as a child, having like prayer together with my family and reading God's word together. With a pot of mint tea in the passageway, get your dressing gown and your blanket, and you do that in the morning, especially on Saturday morning, which was Sabbath. But Curtis wasn't used to that, and so when I'm saying, "Come, let's have worship," he weren't having it.
You wouldn't say it so much vocally. You would more. It was showing you the frustration of me not turning up like that would show in your body language. So then I picked it up now and be even more off. And when I'm more off now,
you're off.
It's just another bigger rift than there already was. So that's another one. Like, I suppose religious differences. That was a complete. Even though we grew up in the same faith, attended the same church, different branches, we had different ways of viewing God, different ways of experiencing Him in our personal time. So that was a complete opposite, and I thought it's exactly the same, but it wasn't. I think that's the major complete opposite. So the first one is that you have to know that in the first year you're different. You might think you're the same, but you're not. Most probably, anyway. I'm sure there are couples that are exactly the same that get married, but we didn't know that until we got married. That once we're in a routine of lifestyle, that will be the big difference. It will show its head a bit later on. And then what would that lead to?
Nothing. Anyway, next point is...
No, I've done it nicely.
Oh, you did.
So that will lead to...
Arguments. Yes, I think that people get shocked. Like, oh my days, we're arguing. We're not supposed to argue ever, especially not in the first year.
Or why are we arguing so early? If it's like this now...
How's it going to be in the future?
No.
But arguments are normal.
We say that 15 years old.
It depends how you argue, why you argue, and how long you argue for. I think that they're the crucial things, but arguments are pretty normal because you're two separate individuals, come from different cultures. Even though we're Black British, we're different. You know, Curtis's mum was born here, his dad was born in Jamaica. My mum was born in St. Lucia, my dad was born here. But practically, they grew up here practically all their life. So they were Black British in themselves. But our homes did things very different. Completely different. And we would say, we have like generic things which are the same. Like, do you remember that old reggae tune from back then? Do you remember Rodigan playing this tune? Remember Reggae Sunsplash? I don't know. Do you remember having fish at Easter? Or curry goat at the christening? A bit of baby sham, what you got a sip of when you was little. Did you remember watching stuff like wrestling? What's it? Giant Haystack and Big Daddy. We got similarities like that, but Our households actually operated different. Our cultures were actually different.
Completely. We used to watch a lot of TV.
And we didn't.
I didn't do much in the way of reading.
And we did.
I didn't have. We didn't have much family time where we just always enjoy each other's company and study or anything like that.
And we did. We had to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, all of us together, and study. And we also could not have the TV on at dinner time because it was time to talk. So we did have differences. So in bringing those differences together in the first year, you will have some friction. You will have some rubbing against. You will have some arguments. You'll be like, well, look, I don't use lime scale cleaner on the draining board. Oh, well, I do because my mum said I should. Those things can start argument.
Big. And I had TV at dinner time. It was always on. The TV was never off. So imagine, when I want to eat, I don't want to talk.
And when I want to eat, I want to talk. And argue.
And so this breed arguments, but sometimes the argument starts with body language and gestures and heavy breathing or huffing. What are you laughing for? Why are you laughing?
Because you said heavy breathing, huffing.
Do you what? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nah, no.
Okay, I'm just saying. So you hear the heavy breathing and you say, "You're right," and you say,
Yeah.
"What's up?"
Nothing.
Are you sure?
Yep.
But don't be deceived. That's a volcano brewing, and I know it, but I don't know it, but I know it. And so I'm tender-footed. You know what I mean? I'm walking as carefully as I can. Hopefully, it will dissipate, but it's there.
Yeah, it's there because...
And it happened. I'm the same way.
Same way. But it's there because there's something that you've done what's outside my comfort zone or outside of what I'm used to, but I haven't been able to express it. So, as I said, back in that first year, you're not yet... I wouldn't say tools. You don't yet have the know-how of how to fully express yourself because you're still on your best behaviour.
Yeah. You're not relaxed.
So expect arguments. Arguments are normal. As I said, it's how you argue, where you argue, when you argue. We had a rule that we would never argue in front of people outside of the home. So,
we kept to that.
Yeah, we've done all right. Sometimes we broke it a little bit, but not a major. Nah. But
no matter how bad it gets.
Yeah, when you get in that car and you get out, it's not like you're faking it, but argument is on. Argument is on pause till you get back in the car and you're on your way home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to. That's a rule. But I don't know if that's another video. But
that's another video.
Don't argue or bring your
mess,
your stuff around other people. Don't do that. That's just for your marriage's sake. It's not because you're close to your mates. Don't do that. It's your marriage. You've got to protect it because sometimes people will step in unnecessarily into your stuff. That's your private stuff. Share it as you resolve it privately, but don't bring your stuff on. That's the number one rule that we've got, I think. So understand this. You've gone through your conflict stage. The first two are about conflict. It's natural. It's normal. The third thing that you need to expect in a marriage really is a summary of the two, and that is the fact that you're getting used to each other.
Getting used to each other is like, ladies, putting your feet into a pair of shoes in a shop and you're like... After a while, the shoes, as the shopkeeper always says to you, or the sales assistant, it will give. And you will be used to the pair of shoes and it will become your most comfortable pair. It's also like when you're in that change room putting that pair of jeans on and you're a size 12, but you're putting on a 10 and you're wishing that there was a size 11 and there's not. But then you put the size 10 on and you're like, ooh.
If you love it enough, you will fit.
You will make it fit.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah. So you cut back on the bread. You won't overeat just so the jeans can fit you. It's just like, right here, you do what you have to do to get used to each other. So you're like, you know what? I know that's a different way. He has a different way of doing things. He's been brought up different than me. Maybe I can actually learn from that new technique, that new way, and not just dismiss it because it's different. So you kind of start getting comfortable and say, well, that's his way. He has not been brought up in the same household with the same mother and father or the same mother, because then he would be my brother. In that stage of getting used to each other, you're getting used to smells. movement, temperaments. Does he poop under the blanket without leaving a space to let the air out? Does he squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom or the top? Does he come out of the bath and leave it dirty for you to clean? There are all different stuff that you're going to have to get used to, and these are just the minor ones, which in the first year can seem pretty major. Because in that time when you were dating, you weren't really getting used to the real each other. You were getting used to the well-behaved version of yourself. You were getting used to the sales version of yourself, to the billboard version of yourself, which is buy me, pick me, I'm the best, and you're on your best behaviour. But when you get married, you cannot hold your wind in for too long.
Getting used to each other. You're going to pass the wind. You're going to have a bad hair day. You're going to have bad smell days. I'm not looking at you like that. I'm not saying you.
I never have bad smell days.
Never. Get used to each other. Be patient, and sometimes it's a case of if the bath is left dirty, just wash it out. Just say from now on, I'll wash it out. Don't worry about it. Sometimes it's about that. You know that.
15 years.
There are some things I do that you just don't do. You just know I'm going to do it.
Yeah. That's
my compromise. I've had times when I'm like, why don't she do certain things, like hoover the car?
Anyhow, as I always say, moving on. So we'd just like to thank you for subscribing and sharing and watching We Love Marriage UK. And we just want to
say it again. welovemarriage.co.uk.
.co
is the website.
Okay. We just want to thank you for subscribing and sharing our videos. And we want to ask you to continue to support us by visiting www.welovemarriage.co.uk.
Mm-hmm. All the crumbs, man, in the car.
We want to leave you with this.
I just accepted that. That's my job.
We want to leave you with this. Love never fails. Stay the course.
Crumbs.